Howdy folks, today we've got another kit for you. It's from Eduard. It's pretty much their second version or second edition of their P-51 Mustang. If you built their first one, that Ochi, is it? I think you pronounce it. If you built that, that was a pretty good kit. I've yet to build mine, but if you've already built that one, you know this one's going to be just as good. This is the little bit earlier version of the Mustang, because it hasn't got the support chin piece up by the tail and a couple of other things. That's one of the biggest things you can tell the difference between the aircraft. So this is the P-51D-5 Mustang. It's a ProfiPACK edition, so it's the typical ProfiPACK editions you get for Eduard, which comes with the canopy masks and etc. Let's take a look what we get in the box. On this side of the box you get these 6 markings. These two here aircraft are not a mistake. They are the same paint scheme, but just a month difference. 1 month it had the stripes going all over and it had so many kills, and then a month later the pilot managed to get a few more kills within a month, and so he's obviously got more kills on the nose, and they've taken away the stripes. That was for D-Day area, and that was a month later. I like this one, and I like the Italian one. Kit number for this is 82101. So there's this side of the box. It's a licensed product by Boeing, so they've officiated it. I noticed this one hasn't got the QR code normally, which has the QR code for the online instructions if you don't have it. So inside the box is a top opening box. It's a typical Eduard size box, nothing extra. So it's got a nice box art, I do like that. You get your worksheet, your clear on the typical Eduard round sprue, one giant bag of fuselage parts and internal details. Second part is for your wings. Your canopy masks, nothing to really say about this, is laser cut. Typical Eduard masks, as good as always, I like them. Highly detailed photo-etch, which is their new range. If you look at the dials, it's got a mimic glass texture, so you don't have to use crystal clear now. They've already done it, so there's their new type of photo-etch. And one nice decal sheet. It's printed by Eduard itself. To my understanding, they've got a new printing machine, and supposedly the decals are thinner than what they had before. So just be aware of that, be a little bit careful. I do like these. I'm not going to take them out because I don't want to get them scratched up, but hopefully these go down just as well. As I say, they are a new type of decal from Eduard, because they've got a new machine that does their decals now. Sometimes they use cartographer and sometimes they print their own. It all depends. But a nice decal sheet. You got the clear, comes in a nice sealable bag. One of my parts has come off. That's quite common sometimes with these sprue, where they get knocked around in the box. But again, the clear parts is just as good. No seam line down the middle, a little bit of a scuff, but it's easy taken care of. So the piece I'm missing was attached to here, but you've got other canopies for if you might either make a mistake or slightly different variants. There's the front lights, gun sight, which is here. Really fine detail parts, especially these pieces here. You have to be super careful, some more lights. But typical of Eduard with their glass, all clear, super nice as usual. I haven't really come across a bad Eduard kit yet. Yeah, see, these pieces are quite fragile. There probably is a bad one out there, but I haven't come across it. To say, if you've built the first Mustang, you know what you're in for. The pretty much the kit's identical, apart from a few changes. So yeah, the detail again is like it was before. Rivets all over in certain areas. Some parts don't have rivets, which is the painted lacquer sections. Like the wings, for instance, here there's no rivets, which is the painted section, and the parts with rivets are the natural metal finish panels, which they're explaining in the instructions like it was on the first one. So yeah, there you go guys, there's the wings, just the same as the first version. These sprues here are going to be pretty much the same as the first version. There's your fuselage halves, again nice detail with rivets all over, apart from these pieces down the bottom here, only around the edge, but the centre piece has got no rivets because I think they're the painted sections again. The sprues, fine detail parts, door flaps, wing support, undercarriage wheels, but if you want to buy resin to make it a little bit better, I've got resin wheels, because you've got two pieces and you're going to have to either rescribe the lines and it's just pain in the arse. I'd just rather buy the resin because they look better anyway. Exhaust systems, wheel flaps, nice detail on the wheel flaps. Undercarriage supports, looks like the back of the aircraft, some guns, you're gonna have to drill them out a little bit. More undercarriage, so there's the wheels, air vents, so in this one you'll be using these type of propellers, I believe it is, for this kit, and the other nose chin piece, it must be on the other sprue somewhere. But again, the nose cones, the flooring, say this sprue is exactly the same, all the sprues are the same, but it's just slightly different variant. We knew this was going to happen because we could tell from when we first looked at the kit. So there's a cockpit detail, there's the cockpit floor, there's your fuel tank, different part propellers. Obviously, by looks of things, there's going to be another version, so there's going to be 3 versions. I do understand there is another version of this I have ordered, and it's the E-Day version from Eduard, which gives you 1 extra paint scheme. But it's practically the same kit as this one, but it's just 1 extra paint scheme. Your drop tanks, your teardrop tanks, your paper tanks, bombs, rockets. So this kit doesn't require you to use the rockets, but it requires you to use the drop tanks and stuff. But you can stick these on, it's your kit, you can do what you like, you can paint it how you like, you don't even have to use the decals that come with the kit. Okay, we'll take a look at the instructions. Nice instructions as usual. Information on the Mustang. If you wish to read it, pause the video. Move you up slightly. So you start with your sprue map, all the stuff you get in the kit. The colours are done by Mr. Hobby, Guns, Aquarius. As I say, if you built the first one before, it's pretty much identical. You start with your cockpit seat, put your photo-etch seat belts in, fuel tank, radio equipment on the fuselage floor, side of the fuselage, which is dials and levers and stuff. Put that inside of the fuselage half. Then do the left side and right side. Then sandwiching it all together, making up the undercarriage wheel well, more undercarriage wheel well with supports, sandwiching the wings together with the wheel well, open up some holes, putting the guns in and flaps, which are fixed unfortunately, dropping down the fuselage half on top of your wings, putting the ailerons and flaps and the back wings, upper rudder and stuff, stabilizers. And then you go back to the cockpit, which is your instrument panel. Use photo-etch. And then you got the gun sight. Sorry about that, guys. Where were we? Instrument panel, gun sight, and the shield that goes over the instrument panel. Dropping that in, and a little back piece here to cover up the back part of the cockpit area. Working on the not sure what you call that. It's the I think it's one of the flaps for the radiator, and the wheel, the drag wheel. Doors going on, radiator flaps, and not sure what those pieces are. Could be the light actually, landing light. Landing gear, undercarriage, 2-piece wheels, but I'm going to be getting photo-etch resin ones. Your flaps in 2-piece, which are posable, which is a nice touch. Canopy mask, and the purple bit is liquid mask. You have to fill in the centre, or you could use tape. Dropping your undercarriage in and your flaps in, which are, I believe, are posable. We can have the flaps down if you've got it on the ground. Undercarriage doors going in. Exhaust system, be careful which one you're doing, because there's 2 types. Impeller, nose cone, spinner, cockpit, canopy. There's the gun sight and your canopy, a bit of a support and having the canopy open or closed. Putting the propeller on and the spinner. Exhaust system, 2 types, so be careful which one you're doing. Your drop tanks, your teardrop and your paper tanks. This one doesn't have the rockets or anything, but you can do it if you wish. Tidy up to you. We have this nice paint scheme, which is the olive drab one, a little bit unusual. See Mustangs in colour. Normally they're all the silver or natural metals. I do like them in colour. There's a little bit of information on that aircraft. If you wish to read that, pause it. It was based in England, August 1944. Most of the Mustangs were English, are based over here, fighting in Europe. We have this silver one with painted lacquer X sections, which is the typical paint scheme or colour you would see from a Mustang, which is the hot wave. I do like this one with the green nose. A little bit of history on the aircraft. UK, September 1944. We have this one with the lady nose art. Hasn't really got a name, this one, the aircraft. But again, this is a little bit of history. This is again United Kingdom, September 1944, King stuff. And then we get one based in Italy, little bit of history. August 1944. This is silver, natural metal finish and painted, and it's got the checkerboard wings and tail with the red nose. I do like that one as well, with the bright 27 number on it. Reminds you of a racing design. And you have this variant, which is England, June 1944, which is D-Day, with the invasion stripes on it, which is blue. And then the one on the back is the same aircraft a month later, and they changed, got rid of the stripes at the top, got rid of the black banner, and the pilot had more kill streaks. But again, that's nice. Then you've got your painted and lacquer sections like it was before, nicely detailed, and all your stencil data. Lovely as always. So there you go, guys. This is the second version of their Mustang, P-51D-5 Mustang ProfiPACK edition, 1/48 scale by Eduard. Laters. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.